Social Synergy. Cultivate Meaningful Connections. Written and published by MSC Boost. Chapter 1. The Power of Authenticity. Authenticity is the foundation upon which meaningful connections are built. When we present our true selves to the world, we create opportunities for genuine relationships to flourish. In a society that often encourages conformity and masks, it takes courage to strip away the layers and reveal our authentic essence. Being genuine means honoring our unique qualities, strengths, and vulnerabilities. It requires us to look inward and acknowledge our core values, passions, and aspirations. When we align our actions and words with our authentic selves, we exude a magnetic energy that attracts like-minded individuals who appreciate and resonate with our truth. Authenticity fosters trust and rapport in relationships. When we show up as our genuine selves, we create a safe space for others to do the same. By sharing our stories, struggles, and triumphs, we invite others to connect with us on a deeper level. Vulnerability, often perceived as a weakness, is actually a strength that allows us to form profound bonds with others who can relate to our experiences. Embracing authenticity does not mean revealing every intimate detail of our lives to everyone we meet. It involves discernment and setting healthy boundaries. We can choose to share different aspects of ourselves with different people, depending on the level of trust and connection we have established. The key is to remain true to our core identity and values, even as we navigate various social contexts. Practicing authenticity requires self-awareness and a willingness to confront our fears and insecurities. It means letting go of the need for external validation and approval, and instead focusing on being true to ourselves. When we live authentically, we liberate ourselves from the exhausting task of constantly trying to fit in or please others. Authentic individuals possess a magnetic presence that draws others to them. They inspire trust, respect, and admiration because they are unapologetically themselves. When we witness someone living their truth, it encourages us to do the same. Authenticity has a ripple effect, creating a culture of openness, honesty, and genuine connection. Cultivating authenticity is an ongoing process of self-discovery and growth. It involves regularly checking in with ourselves, aligning our actions with our values, and being willing to make adjustments when necessary. It requires the courage to stand in our truth, even when it feels uncomfortable or goes against the grain. Authentic connections have the power to enrich our lives in profound ways. They provide a sense of belonging, support, and understanding that nourishes our souls. When we surround ourselves with people who accept and celebrate our authentic selves, we create a network of meaningful relationships that inspire us to be our best selves. To cultivate authenticity in your own life, start by exploring your values, passions, and unique qualities. Reflect on what makes you feel most alive and aligned with your true self. Practice self-compassion and let go of the need for perfection. Embrace your quirks, flaws, and vulnerabilities as integral parts of your authentic identity. Seek out environments and communities that encourage and support authenticity. Surround yourself with individuals who appreciate and celebrate genuine expression. Engage in activities and pursuits that allow you to express your true self freely and without judgment. Remember that authenticity is not about being perfect or always having it all together. It is about showing up as your true self, even in the face of challenges and uncertainties. It is about owning your story, your struggles, and your triumphs, and allowing others to connect with you on a human level. As you embark on the journey of cultivating authenticity, be patient with yourself. It takes time and practice to unlearn patterns of self-doubt and conformity. Celebrate the small victories along the way and trust that by being true to yourself, you are attracting the right people and opportunities into your life. Authenticity is the key to unlocking the door to meaningful connections. By embracing your true self and showing up genuinely in your interactions, you create a solid foundation for building deep, lasting relationships. So, take a deep breath, trust in your authentic essence, and step forward with courage and vulnerability. The world is waiting to connect with the real you. Chapter 2. Active Listening. The Key to Understanding. Active listening forms the cornerstone of effective communication and fosters deeper connections with others. It involves more than simply hearing the words someone speaks. It requires being fully present, engaged, and attuned to the speaker's message, emotions, and nonverbal cues. To develop effective listening skills, start by giving the speaker your undivided attention. Put aside distractions, such as your phone or wandering thoughts, and focus solely on the person speaking. Maintain eye contact, lean in slightly, and nod occasionally to show that you are engaged and interested in what they have to say. Empathy lies at the heart of active listening. Strive to understand the speaker's perspective, even if it differs from your own. Put yourself in their shoes and try to grasp the emotions and experiences they are conveying. Validate their feelings by acknowledging the importance of what they are sharing, without judgment or interruption. Paraphrasing and reflecting back what you've heard can help ensure that you have accurately understood the speaker's message. Use phrases like, "What I'm hearing is," or "It sounds like you're feeling," to confirm your understanding and show that you are actively processing their words. This technique also allows the speaker to clarify any misunderstandings and feel heard and understood. Asking thoughtful, open-ended questions demonstrates your genuine interest and encourages the speaker to delve deeper into their thoughts and feelings. Avoid asking questions that can be answered with a simple yes or no. Instead, use prompts like, "Can you tell me more about?" or "What was that experience like for you?" These questions create space for the speaker to elaborate and share more of their story. Silence can be a powerful tool in active listening. Resist the urge to fill every pause with your own thoughts or opinions. Allow the speaker time to gather their thoughts, process their emotions, and continue at their own pace. Comfortable silences can often lead to profound insights and deeper sharing. Pay attention to the speaker's nonverbal cues, such as facial expressions, tone of voice, and body language. These cues often convey more than words alone and can provide valuable insights into the speaker's emotional state. If you notice a mismatch between their words and nonverbal cues, gently inquire about it to gain a fuller understanding of their experience. Active listening requires patience and a willingness to set aside your own agenda. Avoid interrupting the speaker or jumping in with your own stories or advice. While it's natural to want to relate or offer solutions, the primary goal of active listening is to create a safe space for the speaker to express themselves fully and feel heard. Practicing active listening can be challenging, especially in emotionally charged conversations. It's important to regulate your own emotions and reactions, even if you disagree with what the speaker is saying. Take a deep breath, remain calm, and focus on understanding their perspective, rather than formulating your response. Active listening is a skill that can be developed and refined over time. Start by practicing in low-stakes conversations with friends, family, or colleagues. Notice how your relationships deepen and your conversations become more meaningful as you prioritize listening over speaking. Incorporate active listening into your daily interactions, whether at work, in social settings, or at home. Be fully present and engaged in each conversation, giving the speaker your undivided attention. Observe how others respond to your listening skills and the positive impact it has on your relationships. Seek out opportunities to practice active listening in diverse contexts, such as volunteering, attending support groups, or engaging in cross-cultural dialogues. Exposing yourself to a wide range of perspectives and experiences will enhance your ability to listen empathetically and build connections with people from all walks of life. Active listening is a transformative tool that can deepen your understanding of others and strengthen your relationships. By being fully present, empathetic, and engaged in your conversations, you create a safe and supportive space for others to share their stories, thoughts, and feelings. As you hone your listening skills, you will discover the immense power of truly hearing and understanding another person, fostering genuine connections that enrich your life and the lives of those around you. Chapter 3. Nonverbal Communication Mastery. Nonverbal communication plays a crucial role in how we connect with others and convey our thoughts, feelings, and intentions. Our body language, facial expressions, and gestures often speak louder than our words, creating a rich subtext that can either enhance or undermine our verbal messages. To master nonverbal communication, start by becoming more aware of your own body language. Pay attention to your posture, how you sit or stand, and the way you move your hands and arms when speaking. Are you slouching, crossing your arms, or fidgeting nervously? These nonverbal cues can signal disinterest, defensiveness, or anxiety, even if that's not your intention. Practice maintaining an open and confident posture, with your shoulders back, spine straight, and arms relaxed at your sides. This body language communicates approachability, engagement, and self-assurance, making others feel more comfortable and receptive to your presence. Eye contact is a powerful tool in nonverbal communication. When you make direct eye contact with someone, you show that you are fully present and engaged in the conversation. It builds trust, establishes rapport, and conveys sincerity. However, be mindful not to stare intensely, as this can be perceived as aggressive or intimidating. The key to effective eye contact is finding a balance. Aim to maintain eye contact for a few seconds at a time, then briefly glance away before re-establishing the connection. This natural ebb and flow creates a sense of ease and allows both parties to feel comfortable and connected. Facial expressions are another essential aspect of nonverbal communication. Our faces are incredibly expressive, conveying a wide range of emotions, from happiness and surprise to sadness and anger. Being aware of your facial expressions can help you communicate more effectively and build stronger connections with others. Practice mirroring the facial expressions of the person you're interacting with, as this creates a sense of empathy and understanding. If they smile, smile back. If they furrow their brow in concern, show a similar expression of attentiveness. This subtle mirroring helps build rapport and shows that you are attuned to their emotional state. Gestures, such as hand movements and head nods, can add emphasis and clarity to your verbal messages. They can help illustrate your points, convey enthusiasm, and create a more engaging and dynamic conversation. However, be mindful not to overdo it, as excessive gesturing can be distracting or appear insincere. Use gestures purposefully and in moderation. For example, if you're describing something large or expansive, you might spread your arms wide. If you're expressing agreement or encouragement, a simple head nod or thumbs up can suffice. The key is to make your gestures natural and congruent with your words and emotions. In addition to being aware of your own nonverbal cues, it's equally important to learn how to read and interpret the nonverbal cues of others. This skill allows you to gauge their emotional state, level of engagement, and receptivity to your message. Pay attention to their posture, eye contact, facial expressions, and gestures. Are they leaning in and making direct eye contact, suggesting interest and engagement? Or are they crossing their arms, avoiding eye contact, and displaying a closed-off posture, indicating discomfort or resistance? By observing and responding to these nonverbal cues, you can adjust your communication style to better connect with the other person. If you sense discomfort or resistance, you might soften your tone, give them more space, or ask open-ended questions to better understand their perspective. Mastering nonverbal communication takes practice and self-awareness. Start by observing your own nonverbal cues in different situations, such as during a presentation, a casual conversation, or a negotiation. Notice how your body language, facial expressions, and gestures change depending on your emotions, intentions, and the context of the interaction. Seek feedback from trusted friends, family members, or colleagues. Ask them how they perceive your nonverbal communication, and if there are any areas where you could improve. They might point out habits or tendencies you weren't aware of, such as fidgeting, avoiding eye contact, or crossing your arms when stressed. Incorporate nonverbal communication skills into your daily interactions. When you're having a conversation, make a conscious effort to maintain open body language, make appropriate eye contact, and use purposeful gestures. Notice how others respond to your nonverbal cues and how it impacts the quality and depth of your connections. Nonverbal communication is a powerful tool for building rapport, conveying empathy, and creating meaningful connections. By mastering the art of body language, facial expressions, and gestures, you can communicate more effectively, build trust, and foster deeper relationships with others. With practice and self-awareness, you can become a skilled nonverbal communicator, enhancing your ability to connect with others on a profound level. Chapter 4. Navigating Social Dynamics. Social dynamics play a significant role in how we connect with others and build meaningful relationships. Every social situation presents its own unique set of challenges and opportunities, requiring us to adapt our communication style and behavior to effectively engage with those around us. One of the first steps in navigating social dynamics is to develop an awareness of the social context. Pay attention to the setting, the occasion, and the people involved. Is it a formal business meeting, a casual gathering with friends, or a networking event? Each situation calls for a different approach and level of formality in your interactions. Observe the social norms and expectations within each context. Notice how people dress, interact, and communicate. Are conversations more structured and task-oriented, or are they free-flowing and casual? By aligning your behavior with the prevailing social norms, you demonstrate social intelligence and make others feel more comfortable in your presence. Initiating conversations is a key skill in navigating social dynamics. Whether you're attending a conference, joining a new group, or meeting someone for the first time, the ability to start engaging conversations is essential. Begin by introducing yourself with a warm smile and a confident handshake. Share a brief snippet about yourself and express genuine interest in the other person. Ask open-ended questions to encourage the other person to share more about themselves. Inquire about their background, interests, or thoughts on the event or topic at hand. Listen attentively to their responses, using active listening skills to show that you value their perspective. Build upon their answers with follow-up questions or related experiences of your own, creating a natural flow of conversation. Maintaining conversations requires a balance of speaking and listening. Avoid dominating the conversation or constantly redirecting it back to yourself. Instead, focus on creating a dialogue where both parties have the opportunity to contribute and share. Use verbal and nonverbal cues to show that you're engaged and interested in what the other person has to say. Share relevant stories, insights, or experiences that contribute to the conversation and deepen the connection. However, be mindful of oversharing or disclosing too much personal information too quickly. Gradually build trust and rapport over time, allowing the relationship to develop naturally. Cultural sensitivity is crucial when navigating social dynamics, particularly in diverse or international settings. Take the time to educate yourself about different cultural norms, customs, and communication styles. Be open-minded and respectful of cultural differences, avoiding assumptions or stereotypes. Pay attention to nonverbal cues that may have different meanings across cultures. For example, direct eye contact may be considered respectful in some cultures, while in others, it may be seen as confrontational. Adjust your communication style accordingly, showing respect and sensitivity to cultural nuances. Social etiquette plays a significant role in navigating social dynamics smoothly. Familiarize yourself with basic etiquette rules, such as proper introductions, thank you notes, and appropriate attire for different occasions. Demonstrating good manners and consideration for others helps create a positive impression and fosters respectful interactions. Be mindful of your language and tone, avoiding offensive or insensitive remarks. Practice active listening and show genuine interest in others' perspectives, even if they differ from your own. Offer compliments and express appreciation when appropriate, acknowledging the contributions and achievements of those around you. Navigating social dynamics also involves managing challenging situations or difficult personalities. When faced with conflict or disagreement, remain calm and composed. Listen to the other person's perspective with an open mind, seeking to understand their point of view. Avoid getting defensive or aggressive, and instead focus on finding common ground and solutions. If you encounter someone who is consistently negative or confrontational, set clear boundaries and limit your interactions if necessary. Surround yourself with positive, supportive individuals who uplift and inspire you. Cultivate relationships with people who share your values and contribute to a healthy, productive social environment. Developing social skills is an ongoing process that requires practice and self-reflection. Regularly assess your interactions and identify areas where you can improve. Seek feedback from trusted friends or mentors who can offer constructive guidance on your communication style and social presence. Engage in a variety of social situations to expand your comfort zone and build confidence. Attend networking events, join clubs or organizations aligned with your interests, and participate in community activities. The more you expose yourself to diverse social experiences, the more adept you'll become at navigating different dynamics and building meaningful connections. Social dynamics are complex and ever-changing, but with awareness, adaptability, and a genuine interest in others, you can navigate them successfully. By reading social cues, aligning with social norms, and demonstrating respect and empathy, you create an environment where authentic connections can flourish. Embrace the richness of social interactions and watch as your relationships deepen and your social network grows. Chapter 5. Building rapport and trust. Rapport and trust form the bedrock of meaningful connections. When we establish a strong foundation of understanding and reliability with others, we create an environment where relationships can thrive. Building rapport and trust requires intentional effort, consistency, and a genuine desire to connect on a deeper level. One of the most effective ways to build rapport is to find common ground. Take an interest in the other person's experiences, hobbies, and passions. Ask questions about their background, their favorite activities, or their goals and aspirations. Listen attentively to their responses, looking for opportunities to relate and share your own experiences. When you discover shared interests or similarities, emphasize them in your conversations. Perhaps you both enjoy the same type of music, have a passion for travel, or share a love for a particular sport. By highlighting these commonalities, you create a sense of connection and familiarity, making the other person feel more at ease and understood. Actively seek out opportunities to engage in shared experiences. Suggest activities or events that align with your common interests. Attend a concert together, join a book club, or participate in a community project. Shared experiences create memories and strengthen the bond between individuals, providing a foundation for deeper rapport and trust. Building trust requires consistency and reliability. Follow through on your commitments and be true to your word. If you make a promise, ensure that you deliver on it. Consistency in your actions and words demonstrates integrity and dependability, two essential qualities in fostering trust. Be punctual and respectful of others' time. Show up when you say you will, and if you're running late, communicate promptly. Reliability in small matters sets the stage for trust in larger, more significant aspects of the relationship. Transparency and honesty are crucial components of building trust. Be open and authentic in your interactions, avoiding deception or manipulation. Share your thoughts, feelings, and intentions with sincerity, even if it means having difficult conversations. Honesty fosters a sense of safety and allows others to feel comfortable being vulnerable and authentic in return. Admit your mistakes and take responsibility for your actions. We all make errors, and acknowledging them demonstrates humility and a willingness to learn and grow. Apologize sincerely when necessary and make amends if your actions have caused harm. Taking accountability builds trust by showing that you value the relationship and are committed to its well-being. Creating a safe and supportive environment is essential for building rapport and trust. Offer a non-judgmental space where others feel comfortable expressing themselves freely. Listen with empathy and validate their feelings, even if you don't fully agree with their perspective. Show genuine care and concern for their well-being, offering support and encouragement when needed. Maintain confidentiality and respect others' privacy. If someone shares personal information with you, treat it with the utmost care and discretion. Avoid gossiping or disclosing sensitive details without permission. Being a trustworthy confidant strengthens the bond of trust and creates a sense of security in the relationship. Building rapport and trust takes time and patience. It's not a one-time event, but rather a continuous process of nurturing the relationship. Regularly check in with the other person, showing genuine interest in their life and well-being. Celebrate their successes, offer support during challenges, and be present during both the highs and lows. Maintain open lines of communication, even when there are disagreements or conflicts. Address issues directly and respectfully, focusing on finding solutions rather than placing blame. Practice active listening, seeking to understand the other person's perspective before sharing your own. Work together to find mutually beneficial resolutions that strengthen the relationship. Cultivate a spirit of generosity and thoughtfulness in your interactions. Look for opportunities to offer assistance, share resources, or provide a helping hand. Surprise them with small gestures of kindness, such as a thoughtful note, a favorite treat, or a sincere compliment. These acts of generosity demonstrate that you value the person and are invested in their happiness. Building rapport and trust is an ongoing process that requires effort and dedication. Regularly assess the health of your relationships and identify areas where you can deepen the connection. Seek feedback from others on how you can be a better friend, colleague, or partner. Be open to growth and improvement, recognizing that building strong relationships is a lifelong skill. Nurture your relationships with consistency, honesty, and genuine care. Prioritize quality time together, engaging in activities that strengthen your bond. Express appreciation and gratitude for the people in your life, acknowledging the ways they enrich your world. Through these intentional efforts, you create a solid foundation of rapport and trust, paving the way for meaningful, long-lasting connections. Building rapport and trust is a skill that can be developed and refined over time. Start by focusing on the relationships that matter most to you, whether they be personal or professional. Apply the principles of finding common ground, being consistent and reliable, practicing transparency and honesty, creating a safe and supportive environment, and nurturing the relationship with generosity and care. As you strengthen these core relationships, you'll develop the skills and confidence to build rapport and trust in new connections as well. Chapter 6. Nurturing relationships through empathy. Empathy lies at the heart of nurturing deep, meaningful relationships. It is the ability to understand and share the feelings of another person, to see the world through their eyes, and connect with their experiences on a profound level. When we practice empathy, we create a bridge of understanding that allows us to support, encourage, and uplift others during both joyous and challenging times. Developing empathy begins with self-awareness. Take time to tune into your own emotions and experiences. Recognize how different situations, words, and actions impact your feelings and thoughts. By gaining a deeper understanding of your own emotional landscape, you become better equipped to relate to and understand the emotions of others. Practice active listening when engaging with others. Give them your full attention, setting aside distractions and preconceived notions. Listen not only to the words they speak, but also to the underlying emotions and meanings. Pay attention to their tone of voice, facial expressions, and body language, as these nonverbal cues often convey more than words alone. Validate their feelings by acknowledging and accepting their emotions without judgment. Avoid the temptation to minimize or dismiss their experiences, even if they differ from your own. Instead, offer a supportive presence and create a safe space for them to express themselves freely. Perspective taking is a key component of empathy. Make a conscious effort to step into the other person's shoes and view situations from their vantage point. Consider their background, experiences, and unique circumstances that shape their perceptions and reactions. By broadening your perspective, you gain a more comprehensive understanding of their reality. Ask open-ended questions to gain deeper insights into their thoughts and feelings. Inquire about their experiences, challenges, and aspirations. Listen attentively to their responses, showing genuine interest and curiosity. By seeking to understand their perspective, you demonstrate that you value their input and are invested in their well-being. Reflect on times when you have faced similar challenges or experienced comparable emotions. Draw upon your own life experiences to find common ground and relate to their situation. Share relevant stories or insights that convey understanding and support. By connecting through shared experiences, you foster a sense of solidarity and empathy. Offer empathetic responses that validate their feelings and show understanding. Use phrases like, "I can understand how you feel," or "that must be really challenging," to convey compassion and support. Avoid offering unsolicited advice or trying to fix their problems. Instead, focus on providing a listening ear and a supportive presence. Extend empathy through actions as well as words. Look for opportunities to offer practical assistance or emotional support. Perhaps you can lend a helping hand with a task, provide a comforting hug, or send a thoughtful message of encouragement. Small acts of kindness and support can make a significant difference in nurturing empathetic relationships. Practice empathy in both personal and professional settings. In the workplace, empathy fosters collaboration, trust, and effective communication. Take time to understand the perspectives and needs of your colleagues, clients, or customers. Show genuine interest in their well-being and strive to create an inclusive and supportive environment. Nurturing empathy is an ongoing process that requires practice and self-reflection. Regularly check in with yourself and assess your interactions with others. Are you truly listening and seeking to understand their perspective? Or are you quick to judge or impose your own views? By continuously evaluating and refining your empathetic skills, you cultivate deeper, more meaningful connections. Seek out opportunities to expand your empathy beyond your immediate circle. Engage with people from diverse backgrounds, cultures, and experiences. Listen to their stories, learn from their perspectives, and challenge your own assumptions and biases. By broadening your empathetic horizons, you develop a more inclusive and compassionate worldview. Empathy is not about agreeing with everything others say or feel. It's about understanding and respecting their experiences. There may be times when you disagree or have a different perspective. In these moments, practice empathetic communication by acknowledging their viewpoint while respectfully sharing your own. Engage in open and honest dialogue, seeking to find common ground and understanding. Nurturing relationships through empathy requires vulnerability and emotional intelligence. It means being willing to share your own experiences, fears, and vulnerabilities with others. By opening up and being authentic, you create a foundation of trust and mutual understanding. When others feel seen, heard, and understood, they are more likely to reciprocate empathy and support. Empathy has the power to transform relationships and create a ripple effect of compassion and understanding. When we approach others with empathy, we inspire them to do the same. We create a culture of kindness, support, and connection that extends far beyond our immediate interactions. Nurturing relationships through empathy is a lifelong practice that enriches our lives and the lives of those around us. It requires a willingness to listen, understand, and connect on a deep, emotional level. By cultivating empathy, we build bridges of understanding, foster meaningful connections, and create a world where compassion and support thrive. So, let us approach each interaction with an open heart and a genuine desire to understand and uplift others. Through empathy, we have the power to transform relationships and create a more connected, compassionate world. Chapter 7. The Art of Giving and Receiving Feedback. Feedback is a powerful tool for personal growth and the development of strong, healthy relationships. It provides insights into our blind spots, helps us identify areas for improvement, and enables us to make positive changes in our lives. However, the art of giving and receiving feedback requires skill, sensitivity, and a genuine desire to support others' growth. When giving feedback, start by establishing a foundation of trust and respect. Ensure that your intentions are pure and that you have the other person's best interests at heart. Feedback should come from a place of care and a sincere desire to help them improve and succeed. Choose the right time and place to deliver feedback. Avoid giving feedback in the heat of the moment or when emotions are running high. Instead, find a private, calm setting where both parties feel comfortable and can engage in an open, honest conversation. Be specific and objective when providing feedback. Focus on observable behaviors and actions, rather than making judgments about the person's character or intentions. Use concrete examples to illustrate your points and help the other person understand the impact of their behavior. Frame feedback in a constructive and solution-oriented manner. Instead of simply pointing out what's wrong, offer suggestions and ideas for improvement. Provide practical, actionable steps that the person can take to address the issue and make positive changes. Use I statements to express your observations and feelings, rather than making accusations or generalizations. For example, say, "I noticed that you struggled to meet the project deadline," instead of "you always miss deadlines." This approach helps to minimize defensiveness and promotes a more receptive attitude. Balance positive feedback with constructive criticism. Recognize and appreciate the person's strengths and successes before addressing areas for improvement. This helps to maintain their confidence and motivation while still providing valuable insights for growth. Tailor your feedback to the individual's communication style and preferences. Some people prefer direct, straightforward feedback, while others may respond better to a more gentle, supportive approach. Take the time to understand the person's needs and adapt your delivery accordingly. Allow space for dialogue and active listening. Feedback should be a two-way conversation, not a one-sided lecture. Encourage the other person to share their thoughts, feelings, and perspectives. Listen attentively and with an open mind, seeking to understand their point of view. When receiving feedback, approach it with a growth mindset. View feedback as an opportunity to learn, develop, and improve, rather than as a personal attack or criticism. Recognize that feedback is a gift, even if it may be challenging to hear at times. Practice active listening when receiving feedback. Give the other person your full attention and avoid interrupting or becoming defensive. Ask clarifying questions to ensure that you fully understand their perspective and the specific areas they are addressing. Take time to process and reflect on the feedback you receive. Avoid reacting impulsively or dismissing the feedback outright. Instead, consider the validity of the feedback and how it aligns with your own self-awareness and goals. Evaluate whether there are kernels of truth that you can learn from and apply to your personal growth. Express gratitude for the feedback, even if it's difficult to hear. Acknowledge the courage and effort it takes for someone to provide honest feedback. Thank them for their willingness to support your growth and development. Take responsibility for your actions and commit to making necessary changes. Develop a plan of action based on the feedback you receive, setting specific, measurable goals for improvement. Hold yourself accountable and regularly assess your progress. Seek feedback proactively, rather than waiting for it to come to you. Actively solicit input from trusted friends, family members, colleagues, or mentors. Ask for specific, constructive feedback on areas where you want to grow and develop. Create a culture of feedback in your personal and professional relationships. Encourage open, honest communication and make it safe for others to provide feedback without fear of retaliation or judgment. Model the behavior you wish to see by being receptive to feedback yourself and providing constructive feedback to others when appropriate. Recognize that feedback is not always easy to give or receive. It requires vulnerability, courage, and a willingness to engage in difficult conversations. However, the discomfort of feedback is often outweighed by the long-term benefits of personal growth and stronger, more authentic relationships. Regularly practice the art of giving and receiving feedback in various aspects of your life. Seek out opportunities to provide constructive feedback to others, whether it's a colleague at work, a friend, or a family member. Embrace feedback as a valuable tool for self-awareness and continuous improvement. The art of giving and receiving feedback is a lifelong skill that requires ongoing practice and refinement. It involves developing emotional intelligence, empathy, and effective communication skills. By mastering this art, you create a foundation for personal growth, stronger relationships, and a culture of continuous improvement. Feedback is a powerful catalyst for positive change and the development of authentic, meaningful connections. When approached with care, sensitivity, and a genuine desire to support others' growth, feedback has the potential to transform individuals and relationships alike. So, let us embrace the art of giving and receiving feedback, recognizing its value as a tool for personal and interpersonal growth. Through open, honest, and constructive feedback, we can unlock our full potential and cultivate deeper, more fulfilling relationships. Chapter 8. Managing conflict and difficult conversations. Conflict is an inevitable part of human relationships. Whether it's a disagreement with a friend, a dispute with a colleague, or a heated argument with a family member, conflict can be challenging and emotionally charged. However, learning to manage conflict effectively and engage in difficult conversations is crucial for maintaining healthy, authentic relationships. The first step in managing conflict is to identify and address potential issues early on. Pay attention to subtle signs of tension or discord, such as changes in communication patterns, body language, or emotional tone. By recognizing and addressing conflicts in their early stages, you can prevent them from escalating into more significant problems. When approaching a conflict or difficult conversation, it's essential to prepare yourself mentally and emotionally. Take time to calm your mind and regulate your emotions. Practice deep breathing, meditation, or other relaxation techniques to help you approach the situation with a clear head and a composed demeanor. Before engaging in the conversation, clarify your intentions and desired outcomes. What do you hope to achieve through this dialogue? Are you seeking understanding, resolution, or a compromise? Having a clear purpose in mind helps you stay focused and goal-oriented throughout the conversation. Choose an appropriate time and place for the discussion. Avoid initiating difficult conversations when either party is tired, stressed, or emotionally heightened. Instead, find a private, neutral setting where both individuals feel comfortable and can communicate without interruptions or distractions. Begin the conversation with a non-confrontational approach. Use I statements to express your thoughts and feelings, rather than making accusations or placing blame. For example, say, "I felt hurt when," instead of "you always." This approach helps to minimize defensiveness and promotes a more open and receptive dialogue. Practice active listening during the conversation. Give the other person your full attention, avoiding the urge to interrupt or formulate your response while they are speaking. Listen to understand their perspective, even if you disagree with it. Ask clarifying questions and seek to genuinely comprehend their point of view. Validate the other person's feelings and experiences, even if you don't agree with them. Acknowledge their emotions and show empathy for their situation. Phrases like, "I can understand why you feel that way," or "that must be challenging for you," demonstrate that you are making an effort to see things from their perspective. Express your own thoughts, feelings, and needs clearly and assertively, without being aggressive or confrontational. Use specific examples to illustrate your points and help the other person understand your perspective. Be honest and transparent about your concerns and the impact of the situation on you. Look for common ground and areas of agreement, even amidst disagreement. Identify shared goals, values, or interests that can serve as a foundation for finding a resolution. Focus on problem solving and finding mutually beneficial solutions, rather than winning an argument or proving a point. Be willing to compromise and find a middle ground. Recognize that resolving conflicts often requires give and take from both parties. Consider alternative solutions or creative approaches that address both individuals' needs and concerns. Be open to exploring different options and finding a path forward that works for everyone involved. Manage your emotional reactions during the conversation. Conflict can trigger strong emotions like anger, frustration, or defensiveness. However, allowing these emotions to dictate your responses can escalate the situation and hinder productive communication. Practice self-awareness and emotional regulation techniques, such as taking deep breaths, counting to 10, or taking a brief break if needed. Avoid personal attacks, name-calling, or belittling language. Focus on the issue at hand and refrain from making the conflict about the other person's character or worth. Maintain respect and dignity throughout the conversation, even when emotions run high. If the conversation becomes heated or unproductive, suggest taking a break or reconvening at a later time. Sometimes, allowing for a cooling-off period can help both parties gain perspective and approach the conversation with renewed clarity and composure. After the conversation, take time to reflect on the outcomes and any agreements reached. Follow through on any commitments made and hold yourself accountable for your part in the resolution. If necessary, schedule a follow-up conversation to check in on progress and ensure that both parties are upholding their end of the agreement. Learning to manage conflict and engage in difficult conversations is a skill that requires ongoing practice and self-reflection. Seek out resources, such as books, workshops, or therapy, to enhance your communication and conflict resolution skills. Regularly assess your own communication patterns and identify areas for improvement. Cultivate a mindset of curiosity, empathy, and understanding in your relationships. Approach conflicts as opportunities for growth, learning, and strengthening connections. Recognize that resolving conflicts in a healthy manner can deepen trust, foster resilience, and contribute to the overall well-being of your relationships. Managing conflict and difficult conversations is an essential aspect of building and maintaining meaningful connections. By approaching conflicts with a spirit of openness, compassion, and a desire for resolution, you create a foundation for authentic, resilient relationships. Through effective communication, active listening, and a willingness to find common ground, you can navigate even the most challenging conversations and emerge with stronger, more understanding connections. Conflict, when handled constructively, can be a catalyst for positive change and growth in relationships. It provides an opportunity to address underlying issues, clarify misunderstandings, and find mutually beneficial solutions. So, let us approach conflicts and difficult conversations with courage, empathy, and a commitment to fostering healthy, authentic connections. By mastering the art of managing conflict, we open the door to deeper understanding, stronger bonds, and more fulfilling relationships. Chapter 9. Cultivating a diverse and inclusive network. Building a network of meaningful connections involves more than simply expanding your social circle. It requires actively cultivating a diverse and inclusive network that encompasses individuals from various backgrounds, cultures, and perspectives. A diverse network enriches your life, broadens your understanding of the world, and creates opportunities for personal and professional growth. To build a diverse network, start by examining your current circle of connections. Take an honest look at the demographics, backgrounds, and viewpoints represented within your existing relationships. Identify areas where you may lack diversity and consider ways to expand your network to include a wider range of individuals. Actively seek out opportunities to engage with people from different cultures, ethnicities, ages, and socioeconomic backgrounds. Attend cultural events, join organizations that promote diversity, or participate in community initiatives that bring together individuals from various walks of life. These experiences expose you to new perspectives and help you build connections with people you may not have otherwise encountered. Approach diversity with an open mind and a genuine desire to learn. When interacting with individuals from different backgrounds, be curious about their experiences, traditions, and viewpoints. Ask questions, listen attentively, and show a sincere interest in understanding their unique perspectives. Avoid making assumptions or stereotypes based on someone's identity or background. Challenge your own biases and preconceptions. We all carry unconscious biases that can influence how we perceive and interact with others. Take time to reflect on your own beliefs, attitudes, and behaviors. Identify any biases you may hold and actively work to overcome them. Seek out educational resources, engage in self-reflection, and be willing to have uncomfortable conversations to grow and evolve. Practice empathy and compassion in your interactions with others. Recognize that everyone has their own unique experiences, challenges, and struggles. Strive to understand and validate the emotions and perspectives of those who may be different from you. Show kindness, respect, and support, even when you may not fully understand or agree with their viewpoints. Create an inclusive environment within your own circle of influence. Whether it's in your personal relationships, workplace, or community involvement, make a conscious effort to foster a culture of inclusivity. Speak up against discrimination, prejudice, or exclusionary behavior. Use inclusive language and avoid making assumptions about someone's identity or experiences. Seek out mentors and role models who exemplify diversity and inclusivity. Look for individuals who have successfully navigated diverse networks and have a track record of promoting equity and inclusion. Learn from their experiences, seek their guidance, and emulate their inclusive practices in your own interactions and relationships. Be an ally and advocate for underrepresented or marginalized communities. Use your privilege and platform to amplify the voices and experiences of those who may not have the same opportunities or access. Stand up against injustice, discrimination, and inequality, even when it may be uncomfortable or unpopular. Use your network and resources to support and uplift diverse individuals and communities. Recognize and celebrate the unique strengths and contributions that diversity brings to your network. A diverse network offers a wealth of knowledge, skills, and perspectives that can enrich your personal and professional life. Seek out opportunities to collaborate, learn from, and support individuals who bring different experiences and expertise to the table. Cultivate a mindset of continuous learning and growth. Building a diverse and inclusive network is an ongoing process that requires a commitment to self-reflection, education, and action. Regularly assess your own behaviors and attitudes, seek out new perspectives and experiences, and be open to feedback and constructive criticism. Engage in meaningful conversations about diversity, equity, and inclusion within your network. Create safe spaces for open and honest dialogue, where individuals can share their experiences, challenges, and ideas for positive change. Be willing to have difficult conversations and listen with empathy and understanding. Recognize that building a diverse and inclusive network is not always easy or comfortable. It may require stepping outside of your comfort zone, confronting your own biases, and engaging in challenging conversations. However, the personal and societal benefits of cultivating a diverse network far outweigh the discomfort or challenges you may face along the way. Take action to promote diversity and inclusion beyond your immediate network. Support organizations, initiatives, and policies that advance equity and inclusion in your community and society at large. Use your voice, resources, and influence to advocate for systemic change and create a more just and equitable world. Cultivating a diverse and inclusive network is an essential aspect of building meaningful connections and creating positive change in the world. It requires a commitment to ongoing learning, self-reflection, and action. By actively seeking out diverse perspectives, challenging your own biases, and creating inclusive environments, you can enrich your own life and contribute to a more just and equitable society. A diverse and inclusive network is a powerful tool for personal and collective growth. It expands your understanding of the world, challenges your assumptions, and creates opportunities for collaboration and positive change. So, let us approach diversity and inclusion with open hearts and minds, recognizing the inherent value and strength that lies within our differences. Through cultivating a diverse and inclusive network, we can build bridges of understanding, foster meaningful connections, and create a world where every individual is valued, respected, and empowered to thrive. Chapter 10. Sustaining long-term connections. Building meaningful connections is a significant achievement, but the true test lies in sustaining those relationships over time. Long-term connections require intentional effort, commitment, and a genuine desire to keep the bond strong. Sustaining these connections involves nurturing the relationships, adapting to changes, and consistently investing time and energy into maintaining the connection. One of the key strategies for sustaining long-term connections is regular communication. Make a conscious effort to stay in touch with the people who matter to you, even when life gets busy or distances grow. Set aside dedicated time to reach out, whether it's through phone calls, text messages, emails, or in-person meetings. Consistency in communication demonstrates your commitment to the relationship and helps keep the connection alive. Quality interactions play a crucial role in sustaining long-term connections. When you do have the opportunity to connect with someone, be fully present and engaged in the moment. Put away distractions, listen attentively, and show genuine interest in their lives. Share meaningful conversations, exchange stories, and create new memories together. These quality interactions strengthen the bond and deepen the sense of connection. Reciprocity is essential in sustaining long-term connections. Relationships thrive when there is a balance of give and take. Be proactive in offering support, assistance, and encouragement to your connections. Celebrate their successes, provide a listening ear during challenging times, and be there for them when they need you. When you consistently show up for others, they are more likely to reciprocate and invest in the relationship as well. Adapting to changes is an inevitable part of sustaining long-term connections. Over time, people's lives, circumstances, and priorities may shift. Be open and flexible in navigating these changes together. Adjust your communication style, frequency, or methods to accommodate evolving needs and preferences. Show understanding and empathy when your connections go through transitions, and be willing to find new ways to connect and support each other. Mutual support is a cornerstone of long-lasting connections. When you and your connections face challenges or difficult times, be there for each other. Offer a listening ear, provide practical assistance, or simply be a source of comfort and encouragement. Knowing that you have each other's back through thick and thin strengthens the bond and creates a sense of trust and reliability in the relationship. Shared experiences and traditions are powerful tools for sustaining long-term connections. Create opportunities to engage in activities, hobbies, or events that you both enjoy. Establish traditions or rituals that become a regular part of your connection, such as annual gatherings, special occasions, or shared adventures. These shared experiences create a sense of continuity and provide anchors for the relationship to thrive over time. Expressing gratitude and appreciation is a simple yet powerful way to sustain long-term connections. Regularly acknowledge the positive impact your connections have on your life. Express your thankfulness for their presence, support, and the value they bring to your world. Genuine expressions of gratitude and appreciation foster a sense of being valued and cherished, strengthening the emotional bond between you. Maintain a spirit of forgiveness and understanding in your long-term connections. Inevitably, there will be moments of misunderstanding, conflict, or disappointment. Approach these challenges with empathy, patience, and a willingness to work through them together. Practice forgiveness when necessary, and extend grace and understanding to your connections. Recognizing that imperfections are a natural part of any relationship helps maintain a sense of perspective and resilience. Invest in personal growth and self-reflection to sustain long-term connections. Continuously work on becoming the best version of yourself. Engage in self-awareness, address your own emotional baggage, and strive to be a positive and supportive presence in your connections' lives. When you prioritize your own growth and well-being, you bring a more authentic and enriching presence to your relationships. Celebrate milestones and successes together. Long-term connections are marked by shared joys and accomplishments. Take the time to acknowledge and celebrate the achievements, milestones, and positive moments in each other's lives. Whether it's a birthday, a career advancement, or a personal triumph, being there to celebrate together strengthens the bond and creates lasting memories. Sustaining long-term connections requires a commitment to ongoing effort and intentionality. Regularly assess the health and vitality of your relationships. Are you investing the time and energy necessary to keep the connection thriving? Are there areas where you can improve or deepen the connection? Be proactive in addressing any challenges or potential disconnects, and continuously seek ways to strengthen and enrich the relationship. Seek opportunities to learn and grow together. Long-term connections offer a wealth of opportunities for personal and interpersonal growth. Engage in shared learning experiences, attend workshops or seminars together, or explore new ideas and perspectives as a team. When you and your connections are committed to ongoing growth and development, you create a dynamic and evolving relationship that stands the test of time. Nurture a sense of authenticity and vulnerability in your long-term connections. As relationships deepen over time, it becomes increasingly important to show up as your true self. Share your hopes, fears, dreams, and struggles with your connections. Create a safe space for open and honest communication, where both parties can be vulnerable and authentic with each other. This level of transparency and trust strengthens the bond and fosters a sense of deep connection. Sustaining long-term connections is a beautiful and rewarding endeavor. It requires dedication, effort, and a willingness to adapt and grow together. Through consistent communication, quality interactions, mutual support, and shared experiences, you can keep the bonds of your meaningful connections strong and vibrant. Nurture these relationships with gratitude, forgiveness, and a commitment to ongoing growth, and watch as they flourish and enrich your life in immeasurable ways. The power of long-term connections lies in their ability to provide a sense of belonging, support, and love that endures through the ups and downs of life. These connections become a source of strength, inspiration, and joy, reminding us of the incredible value of true, lasting relationships. So, cherish the long-term connections you have cultivated, and continue to invest in their growth and vitality. Through the sustenance of these meaningful bonds, you create a life rich in love, connection, and fulfillment.